Lovely. First off, Mark, everybody come through unscathed from the weekend?
I wouldn't say unscathed. There's a few knocks and bruises. A couple of lads with a couple of small issues. I probably won't have a better idea until today, to be fair.
Bolton, what kind of tests will they bring tomorrow?
Dangerous, probably the best word to describe it, just because of the situation they're in. They're clearly going into games with no fear, no pressure on them. I know that sounds a bit strange, but ultimately, when you're in that position, I had something similar with my time at Portsmouth. There may be an expectation, I don't know, within the club and with their own fans, but certainly on the outside, obviously it's a difficult situation to be in. They may even get a few more signings before the game actually starts at 7:45 tomorrow evening. They just become really dangerous because you don't really know what you're going to get.
Just how difficult can that be, the fact that you don't know? A lot of the times you would most likely can guess, 9 or 10 and they're 11, but tomorrow you might not be able to get, 6 or 7 of them.
No, yeah, absolutely, yeah, it can be difficult because, most clubs have, I suppose, a couple of formations or ways they want to approach the game depending on who they're playing and where they're playing, and Bolton are no different, so we're mindful of that. I think we've just got to really concentrate on ourselves. I think we've done that quite well here. The results and performances suggest that. They've been pretty good for us, so we've got to try and continue that, starting again tomorrow night.
And just how important will these home games be in the run-in, bearing in mind there's so many of them? I think you've got the most out of anybody in the league.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be massively important, and I think everybody knows that, fans included, and I think they've picked up on that in the games that we played recently. They've been magnificent. The last 2 games here, the Peterborough and Ipswich, the atmosphere was fantastic, and there's something different about a game under the lights. I think most people comment on it, especially if they played as well. I know from a personal point of view, I used to get an extra, 3 or 4 ounces of energy. I don't know where I found it from, but just playing under the lights on a Tuesday night, something special about it.
I know you answered this at the weekend, but we'll ask you again, any movement on players going out of the football club in the last 48 hours?
Yeah, I mean, it'd be daft of me to sit here and say, they could be, they might be, I think pretty much everyone knows that, Bruno looks as if it's a done deal. So if it's not done already, I'm expecting that to be done at some point today.
How disappointing is that to lose him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a good player. He's a player that's got bags and bags of pace. But the reality is he's in his last 6 months of his deal, and he's been made a fantastic offer that we could nowhere near match. So I've had a couple of conversations with him over the weekend, and he's been very light-hearted. I get on really well with Bruno.
Got the player XLR.
Well, that's a first. Yeah, exactly.
Guess the fine for that one.
No, I had a really, really good relationship with Bruno, believe it or not. I know some people found him difficult at times, but I quite like people who've got a little bit about them, a little bit of an edge to them, and spent a lot of time one-on-one chatting about football. And he was the type of player that we used to sit down and watch his clips after every game and discuss the game and go through it. So, no, listen, it's one of them where I wish him all the best. That hope it works out for him. And we've got to move on very quickly. And we've got players that certainly have now got an opportunity. The likes of Zach, who come in on Saturday.
Are you happy with what you've got for him?
For
transfer-wise?
All right. Yep, I am. Yeah.
Yeah.
Under the circumstances.
Are you having to balance the fact that they're good players potentially that could lead the football club, with it being 6 months to go to the end of the contract, with the ability of what they're actually worth? Is there having to be a bit of a middle ground?
Yeah, I think that's just standard. Up and down the country, whoever you are, there's managers, lots of managers going to be in the same position as me. So yeah, ultimately, if it's a good deal for both parties or even 3 parties, the player, us, and the club that are going to take him, then that's football. You move on. You know, you can't get too attached in football. It's a moving, forever moving game, and players come and go, managers come and go. The only thing, and the single most important thing, is the football club itself, its fans, and making sure that, you know, me now as the manager trying to continue to improve the team all the time.
Are you expecting to see any more departures before tomorrow night?
Hopefully not before tomorrow night, but you never know. But certainly between now and the end of January, absolutely, yeah, of course. But I'm guessing that what we've got at the minute will be around for tomorrow evening.
Are you expected to integrate any more of your new signings tomorrow night?
Potentially, yeah, potentially. Yeah, potentially. No, I mean, it's going to be hopefully an exciting few weeks, as it is for most clubs and most fans, obviously, with the window being open. So it'll be no different for us, and it'll be good to, at some point, get the players involved that have come into the building.
Lovely, thank you.
Michael, if Bruno goes to the club we all expect him to go to, are you a bit disappointed he's potentially gone down a league rather than up a league, or to another club in the league?
Listen, at the end of the day, that's Bruno's call, but you know, the reality is it's no ordinary club, is it?
No. So,
yeah, at the end of the day, as players, you've got to make decisions, and we've all got, whether it's families, whether it may be, you've got to make that personal decision for yourself, and I've got no issues with the decision that Bruno's made. Ultimately, he thinks he's made the right decision for himself, and like I say, good luck to him. I've got nothing but, you know, well wishes for him.
So you're happy with the way he's conducted himself during this? He's
Listen,
been professional?
he's been ultra professional, you know, and we spoke quite regular on it. So, yeah, did I want to lose him? No, I don't. But ultimately, you know, he's been offered a deal that won't be able to be matched at this club.
I suppose if a player isn't going to stay beyond the end of his contract, is it best that they go now and you get a transfer fee for them?
Absolutely, yeah, and it gives you the opportunity to, you know, bring players in, and you know, I think I said it a couple of weeks back. You know, it's one of them where you want to, if you get the opportunity to do something, you want to try and make sure that you can replace them with players that are going to affect the starting 11, just like Bruno was.
In terms of comings and goings, do you want to get it all sorted well before the end of January? Do you not want to get to a situation where it's deadline day and you haven't got everything sorted?
In an ideal world, yeah, definitely. But we don't live in ideal worlds, do we? No. So, but no, yeah, absolutely. If we can be as organised as we can before that last few days towards the end of the window kicks in, I don't want to be sat here, put it this way, at 10 o'clock on 31st. Yes. Thinking and worrying about players coming in and players going out. I'd like to think that it gets to around tea time on that day, and I'm at the training ground and I'm happy with what's gone on during the day and the training and the preparation for games, and I can go home and have a decent night's sleep.
As for the new signings who came into the squad on Saturday, are you pleased with the way they've integrated? I mean, it must have been a bit of a whirlwind week for them early with everything that went on.
Good pun, that. It was, no, they were delighted, and we were. You know, it's big difference to what they've been used to. 23 football. Yes, the standard at times can be very good, but ultimately the style of the football and the pace of it can be very different to league football. And I thought they did ever so well on the day under really, really difficult circumstances. Obviously, you know, the wind picked right up in the second half especially, so that was difficult. The pitch was really lively, a little bit like ours, so it was a tough day for their first one, and they handled it pretty well.
In terms of Bolton, are you going to be keeping an extra close eye on them before the game, given they might bring someone in, and might you have to think on your feet when you get the team sheet tomorrow night?
So, yeah, definitely, and I'll make sure the players are aware of that. You know, they have to have an open mind, but like I just said then, I think, you know, we've handled the situations pretty well at home so far since I've been in the club, and we've got to concentrate on us and what we do, and just make sure that our game can affect them just as much as what they can affect us.
Thanks, Michael.
Michael, with regard to the young loan players, with the 3 games in the week, is that something you have to have regard to, or is it some they come to play games?
Yeah, of course you do. Yeah, definitely. I mean, not just them. I think that all the players in general, really. Just after the Sunderland game, we had a lot of games over that Christmas period, and leading into Saturday's game, there was a lot of the players who couldn't train until at least the Thursday or Friday because of the workload that they had during that period. And obviously, we were in a situation, certainly then we were, where there wasn't that many options to change and keep changing the team. So you want to put yourself in a position where you can keep it fresh if you can and have as many options as you possibly can. So it's certainly, from a workload point of view, I've got to be careful and make sure that I sort of pick the right teams for the right game.
And with the balance of the signings last week, obviously two are permanent, two are loan lads. Going forward to next season, is that kind of balance? Is that what you're looking for? If there's always that, we will have to have some good permanent signings to build on.
Well, I mean, in terms of the summer, there'll certainly be a lot more permanent signings than loan signings. I think we just using January as a period to get us through to the end of the season, and then you can, between now and April especially, you can reassess and assess the squad and make sure that come July, August, we're in a position where, yes, you're going to have a few loans in the building, but you don't want to be overstretched with loans. You want to be in a position where you've got good young players that are our players.
No, just building on what the lads have asked, when you brought in the 4 or 5 with Max, how difficult it when there's 3 games in a week like there is now to get the team selection, given that you want the new people to learn the patterns, and that's all to do with coaching from you and Max and David. But you've got the results to think of as well. So would it have been better to have just weekly games really, so you could work the lads into a pattern? But as you say, it's the real world that these games are coming.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think once we get beyond Blackpool, we've got a week to really work into the players. This week it's going to be a little bit mix and match. A lot of the stuff this week will be, certainly with the new players on an individual base, will be video based, because just giving them an understanding of what their role entails. And even people like Zach, who's been in the building a few weeks now, just really focusing on their individual roles. I wanted to take my time with Zach, as you can probably imagine, someone coming from the football that he's been playing, and sort of throwing him in as we did over the last couple of games, coming off the bench. And the lads who have come on loan are no different. They've been playing at a good level. They're at good football clubs, obviously Premier League clubs. But for me to really get them in a position where they know exactly what expected from them, it's probably going to be next week before that happens.
Very much.